All right, we're talking Celtics tonight on the Sports Wrap. Matt Phipps joining us now. And Matt, everyone's a little bit concerned about Kemba Walker and coming back from that knee issue. Are you concerned about his play of late?
He's shooting a career low from a field goal percentage standpoint. He's shooting a career low from three. Yeah, it's concerning. He's not playing well, but he's hurt, and he's coming off a real injury. Everybody, all of the Celtics fans, should really be rooting for Kemba. I know that there's a lot of fans that say we should go and trade him at this point. Even if you want to trade him, you want him to play great. But for them to play well, they need Kemba to be cardiac Kemba. They need him to hit big shots down the stretch. They need him to play big minutes. And so far this season, he's been disappointing.
Yeah, now there's been some rumblings that the Celtics are maybe in the market to make a move. Do you think they need to upgrade their roster right now, or do you think this roster as constituted is good enough as they sit in fourth place in the East to get back to where they want to go?
On some level, it depends on your perspective. If you are, because we're from New England, it's always championship or bust. This is not a championship team that they have right now. They have two really exciting young superstars. At times, they're a good defensive team, not currently, with Marcus Smart being out. But yeah, I'd like to see them use the trade exception and go get another player. I think that they absolutely need some help. They are not championship ready with what they have currently. So yeah, I'd like to see them sort of push the chips to the middle and make a real aggressive move and use that TPE to go get a good player for themselves.
So at 12 and 11, they're right in the middle of the Eastern Conference. What has your been assessment of the East so far this year? Obviously, Brooklyn has been a little bit streaky, but shown how good they can be. Philly's playing well. You have Milwaukee, you have Boston, you have Miami. How do you see the pecking order right now?
Well, Yianni, more than anything, it's a weird season. Like, the Celtics have dealt with Kemba's injury. They have Marcus Smart hurt now. Jaylen Brown was hurt at one point. The Miami Heat and the Celtics were in the finals, conference finals last year. The Miami Heat have a losing record, and the Celtics are barely above 500. It's a strange season with COVID and the COVID protocols that the NBA has. The pecking order, I think, is mostly the usual suspects. I think you've got the Nets in there because of the big three that they have. You've got the Bucks, who are always in the conversation. You've got the Sixers, who have been looking great this year, but you always have to question, will Embiid be healthy all the way through the season? And then the Celtics are there too. The Heat, question mark, because it looks like they've regressed a little bit, but I feel like they'll make a little run and they'll be in there as well.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, obviously candidates to be All-Stars this year. Likely both of them will make it. Do you anticipate this being, the first of many years in which both of them are All-Stars?
Yeah, they're both studs. I mean, they're real. We talked extensively last season about the leap that Tatum was making at the time. And look, Brown was a 20-point per game scorer last year, and yet he made another mini leap this year. He's that much more confident. His shooting continues to improve. He takes over games at different points. He's a good two-way player. Brown should absolutely make the All-Star game with Tatum again this year. Sky is the limit for those guys, and it's really exciting to watch them. And for Celtics fans, there's such a bright future ahead.
What do you think of the rookies so far? Nesmith and Pritchard. Obviously, Pritchard's been hurt, but he showed some pop early on.
I think we got to see a little more from Nesmith, but Pritchard's been great. There's some Celtics fans that would want to see Pritchard play over Kemba at this point. He's been fantastic when he's been healthy. Just a great player off the bench. Plays very hard, makes the right play at seemingly every instance, scoring, making the right pass, holding the dribble when he needs to. Pritchard's been a really nice surprise for the Celtics so far this season.
All right, he's Matt Phipps talking Celtics tonight. Thanks so much for joining us, Matt, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you for having me, as always.